Somebody say something.
Hello,
There we go.
audience. Have we returned?
Lines are doing line things. Sound is happening.
Excellent. Tell us you can hear us, oh audience, so we know what's going on.
Oh, thanks for the bits.
Oh, are we getting some bits? Make sure
Not
to
many,
put them
because
in
our
the bit
tracker
counter.
is not working.
Oh, it's one of those. Yeah.
Oh, the big emojis. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember how much they cost.
Fair amount, like 100 or something.
Okay. Probably a good time for me to remind the audience that if our bit tracker goes over 100, even if it isn't, we're updating it manually because it's broken and garbage. But whenever it rolls over 100%, the party all gets inspos. All right. So I think now that we have returned, I'm going to go ahead and launch the poll.
Dun, dun.
Time for a poll. So I will ask the players to step away from the chat. I have a very interesting poll this time. So there we go. The poll has begun. The poll will run for 10 minutes. Please, as always, vote early vote often. There's 5 options this time, so hopefully we get lots of votes from people. You can always vote additional times with your channel points.
So many
But
options.
I'm very
what are you doing to
curious
us?
to see where this is going.
Wait, there's 5 players, so...
I'm not gonna say any. There's options. You never know what could happen.
What's going on?
There's
Who
5
knows?
options, there's 5 players.
I don't.
Maybe.
Is one of them? Is one of them? Make it so everyone has the same inspiration. Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that is not.
I'm sure that everyone has a bad time.
By the way, if you ever see me
Okay.
teeing, it's because I'm working on the full version of that twerking gif that I have.
So funny.
Yay. Okay. All right. So I believe while we let that poll run, I see a couple early favorites. Keep the votes a coming, folks. Don't be afraid to throw channel points on it and see what we're going to get. I am very intrigued to see which of these occurs.
Because I will also remind everyone I have none left.
So as y'all were hiding and watching this monastery, as the guards pass, one of the patrols on passing the party, one of the soldiers in the patrol says, "Hold! Who goes there?" and holds up a hand for his companions and begins pointing his crossbow in the general direction of where the party is hidden.
How many are they all together?
This particular patrol consists of 4 Boltree garbed soldiers and 8 Langarian garbed soldiers.
So we probably can't take them out in a single
I
round.
mean, Ugna's hand is over the handle of the Thunderhammer, just in case.
So there
Just
are
ready.
5 of us. Hold on.
Do you have a silence spell? That would be handy.
I believe so.
Let's see if that is true. I think that is on the cleric list.
My favorite thing in Baldur's Gate is just to be like, oh, you're gonna cast spells at me? No.
You? The barbarian? What?
Well, I'm doing a different playthrough now.
Indeed.
Ugna's playthrough was very different, and I missed so much because she was just like, oh, whatever. I have no intelligence and no perception. I'm gonna walk over here and hit stuff.
Yeah, it's a cleric spell.
Give me a D6 roll, please.
Okay, hold on. I'm on my phone, not my computer, so it takes me a little longer. Roll. 6. 4.
That'll do. Yes, you do in fact have a silence prepared. So if you want to cast it, you certainly can.
We don't just
I
see
can
also
how this
I can also make all
plays
5 of
out.
us invisible with a single casting, but I do have to take a lot of HP damage to blood
That's true.
cast that much.
Yeah, we're gonna go quiet. We're gonna be silent.
I suspect he's not after us, though.
Where
I
is
mean, everyone's
was
kind of
thinking-
after us.
Can I? Let me just see how
Can I cast-
effective or not minor illusion is, because I would like to do like a cat jump scare, because I think it'd be really cute.
Meow. I mean, you could polymorph.
I like to save that for
When we need it.
bigger stuff. Yeah.
Mhm. So if Tromlin's going to do it, I'm assuming a silence. You're thinking of doing that on the soldiers.
That's what I was assuming.
Yeah, so that if you attack them, you're not making any noise.
When
Yeah.
they try to yell for help, they're not.
Now that still means that you got to take them out before anyone else sees it. But
Also, too, out of character, I suspect that they've seen whatever Dangalf has said, because Dangalf is incompetent. And he's gonna just send some dude just to walk in here.
no. When they said who goes there, they're pointing in your directions.
Right, right. And one of them rolled really good.
Nope. I cast silence.
But I think we
Hey.
charge in and
Let's
Yeah.
Murderize
get an
them.
initiative roll, please.
Yep.
Yeah. I was just trying to make sure that I couldn't roll a good distraction with minor illusion. I think it's just too baby a spell.
I rolled a 3, and then they have a bonus of some sort.
Good job, guys.
Ooh.
it's a
12 for
16
Morgan?
every year.
16 Peter, Raven 12. Just because I overlapped a little bit, sorry.
Randy 5.
Ugna's 16.
Okay. Sorry about that. I got a 16 for who was that?
Ugna. That's Ugna.
Ugna was
Also
a
for
16.
Also for Perny.
Oh, nice. We
Okay,
tied.
so that'll go to Ugna first, then Perny.
Yeah.
And what else do I have?
5.
5 for Tromlin. What do I have for Fetid? Jeff, can you hear me? Oh, I can't hear you. You're muted. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's why. 14.
14 for Fetid. And what was Morgan?
I think 12, sorry.
Okay. All right. Trauma to 5. All right. And the bad guy's dead fucking last with a 3.
Ooh,
Oh,
good for
wow.
you guys.
We love
All
it.
right. Okay, so there was a halt. Who goes there? Followed by a surprise, bam, silent spell, and the guy keeps like, and his friends start going, oh, blah, 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 but again, no sound. And we start with Ugna at the top.
Okay. So there's 4 guards who are looking at us, and then you said another 7 or 8? that are the Langarian guards, or are they all in one group?
Sorry, say again.
You said that there's 4 guards that have the bull tree, and then 7 that are Langarian. Are they all the same group, or are
6
they in
Hungarian.
two?
No, they're
two
sort of
groups?
in 2 groups, like the Boltree ones were ordered to tag along.
Right.
Like they clearly get their orders from different directions.
But are they
Okay,
close
we're
to
on the
each
last
other?
minute of the poll, everybody. Sorry, did you ask something else?
Are they close to each other?
I mean, they're all in one patrol formation, basically.
Gotcha. Don't want to thunderhammer them because I will push them out of the silent zone. So I'm going to use my net instead to try and keep anyone from running for help. I'm going to chuck a net at the stragglers. Whoever's nearest getting away from us.
So you sort of want to move towards them and then try to net whichever ones are like the most likely to run for help.
Yeah.
That'll be the Boltrees at the back.
Perfect.
Now, it seems to me that your net is like a single target kind of deal.
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
It doesn't say anything about multiple targets. So.
Jeff, I just wanted to point out that you, now that you've regained, come back with the party, you would have picked up Ollie.
Okay,
So you
cool.
would have Ollie Mendias with you again.
Excellent.
Ollie Mandius. Oh, and Filth, I guess, because Filth is no longer guarding a vault. So
Mm.
Filth is free to come along. Okay, thanks everybody. That is the end of our poll. And I think it's safe. Let me double check. Yep, should be all safe to go back in to the players. Just don't scroll back up. Although I think if you rejoin, you don't see the old ones anyway. And thank you very much to the audience for giving me that information. Excellent. I will use it wisely.
Rats? Rats in the audience? What's going on?
Sometimes it's good things.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Sometimes it's good things.
Is it good things, chat? Is it good
Okay.
things?
Ugna,
Let's
yes,
see.
the size of your net for
Is
throwing.
1.
Yeah, it's meant to hit one person.
That's okay. I actually, I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. I'm going to jump out of hiding over the group and drop the net as I'm like somersaulting and then land in between them and the street.
Yeah.
You want
So
to
they
hit
can't get past
the
me.
you want to hit the net on the one who yelled, like the one who went, "Who goes there?"
Yeah, he's the
Sounds
one who's
good.
leveling a crossbow at my friends. I will
Make
put
an attack
myself
roll
in the way.
to be-net this feller.
Ooh, but that's a 17 on the roll, and I get a +6 on my net.
That is a hit. That is a very hit.
So that's a 24. It is a
DC 14 for him
Yep.
to see if he's all tangled up. I am going to give him disadvantage because this is a very surprising turn of events. He fails.
cool.
He is betangled with said net, which is a metal, like a wire net made by dwarves.
It is, in
So it takes a
fact.
bit of a.
It's got hit points to break free of. You can't just cut your way out.
Yep.
Cool. And then I'm going to pull out my hammer and start swinging because that was my first attack.
Yep, you get a second attack. So you land where you,
Mhm.
with your enormous leap, you land where you wish. I mean, make me an athletics roll, but you're
Sure.
just to see how spectacular this is.
How about an 18 plus 11?
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
with almost a 30,
30.
you like full on somersault several times and pull off like a Black Widow landing and all kinds of
Yeah.
crazy stuff. You like as you like do the spinning somersaults, you use that momentum to shoot the net down.
Also, at some point, Ugna has gotten like the eye black under her eyes and has got like
Yep.
full Rambo head headband going on.
You
She's ready.
land and you look up and you go like, "It's go time."
Yeah.
You're just outside the silence, so you can do that.
But I do it very quiet.
Okay. Yeah, you have another action, another attack. So what's up?
Sure do. I roll another 18. I'm hitting whoever's nearest me with a hammer. And
Yeah.
with an 18, I sure am.
I
Right. Do I want to spend an action? Or yeah, I do. Drop a superiority point on this guy.
okay
10
for
plus
more
one of my
damage.
superiority points. Yeah. 6 and 1 is 7 plus another.
I assume that's a
8.
pushing.
Yeah, to keep them in towards my friends where the area of attack spells will go.
Shove him towards your buddies.
Yippers.
He has failed that saving throw and is sent flying towards your buddies.
Alrighty.
And you got a bonus attack. What would you like to do with that?
I'm also going to attack.
Or bonus action? You can
Oh,
use
that's
your
right,
bonus
I can,
action to do a grapple attack.
Mm-hmm. I get advantage over grapple targets. But nobody's grappled yet, so let's grab somebody.
Yeah, this is your brawler.
Yeah.
Make a grapple attack after hitting someone.
It's athletics,
bonus
correct?
action.
For
Yes.
grapple? Okay, so that becomes a 19. I only rolled an 8, but I have a plus 11. So
Sorry, what was your total to hit?
19.
Yeah, you hit. So
Cool.
you grab somebody.
I hit some dude in the head with my hammer, and then I grab his friend, just put him in a headlock.
Throw a net on one of them and tangle them up. Smack one of them flying with the hammer, pinwheeling towards your buddies, and then grab another guy in a headlock. Sounds good.
Dead silence.
Copernicus.
Okay. I think I'm going to do an Edward's Black Tentacles. I'm just trying to think about, in terms of like them getting away and out of the cone of silence. Right now, Ugna is the only thing between them and that far side, and otherwise it's
Leading
all of
back
us
up
on
the
this
street.
side.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think I'll probably drop the tentacles at the back end of the group. Like I want to get 4 people in it no matter what. But I might put it further towards the, like, preventing them from running away back towards the
So like where Ugna is, basically.
yeah, where Ugna is, but just in front.
Okay.
So I've got it open here. Squirming tentacles fill 20-foot
Yeah,
square on
I'm
the
just
ground.
curious if there's any way for you to exclude Ugna from that.
Well, I was gonna put the 20-foot square next to it instead of with her.
Well, it's just that Ugna is like in the midst. I guess you've only grabbed one of them, so you can put it like in front of Ugna,
Yeah.
and just that one guy will be outside of it. But Ugna has that guy in a headlock.
Yeah, I don't think he's
All
going
right.
anywhere.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay.
So they need to make dexterity saving throws versus DC 17.
That is a thing that's now happening. That's a
I'm
nope.
gonna roll
That's
the
a yep.
damage.
Wow, that was a wasted nat 20.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna auto fail the guy in the net. No, you know what? I'll just
Success.
give him disadvantage. Yeah, he fails. And I don't have to roll for the one that Ugna has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, that is. Okay, I rolled super insane. 5 of them made it,
Wow.
and 3 of them rolled nat 20s, and one of that was I threw 2 dice down and got 2 nat 20s.
Ooh.
Jeez.
Like that would have been an amazing like disadvantage roll, but nope, it was just 2 randos saving against a thing. So
These are just the shock troops of the Boltree family.
Yeah, this is cream of the crop right here.
So 5 of them made their saving throws, which means they don't take the damage. They're good to go, but if they stay in this area, they're gonna be hit some more.
Yeah.
And then the guy in the net failed. I gave him disadvantage.
I can only hit 4 of them. 20-foot square was only gonna hit 4 of them.
A 20-foot square. Oh, it's not a radius.
Yeah.
Was not thinking. Okay, so all right then. I'm gonna actually I am going to randomize which ones that was, because that might mean some of them actually, some of those 20s may not count. I'm going to randomize which ones were actually had to make the saving throw. And do you care about getting the guy who's got a net on him already? Probably not.
No, yeah.
All right, so I'll exclude him. In which case, and that guy's not in it, so in that case, I'm going to roll d10s. All right, that was one of the nat 20s. That was not. That was not. And I already rolled that guy. Roll again. Okay, 2 made it, 2 failed, which is a better ratio than your previous.
Yeah.
Now roll your damage. 3d6 bludgeoning damage.
It's not a ton. 12 is what I rolled.
12 damage to each of those 2.
Yeah.
And they are restrained.
Yeah.
By
And
tentacles.
so they're going to auto take that damage next turn as well, and then they get another save. And anyone who starts their turn in the square has to make the save.
Yep. Okay. Anything bonus action wise to happen?
Yeah, I'll drop a distracting intrusion, which I should have done before casting the spell. On so it's the leader who's in the net.
It was the one who spoke.
Yeah, I'm calling him the leader. Then somebody else besides him and who's not getting tentacled.
Okay. I will roll a saving throw. That is a fail. His mind is full of horrible noises.
Love it.
Next
Love
up
that
is
for him.
Fetid and Ollie, because I'm having you go together.
All right. So are there any other guards who have not been restrained or otherwise incapacitated at this point?
Quite a few.
Okay. Well, I would.
So there is 12 guards in total.
Mhm.
One of whom is in a headlock, one of whom is in a net, and 4 of whom are in the black tentacles, but 2 of them are restrained and 2 are not.
Okay.
So that leaves 6 of them that are not. Oh, and one that was like sent flying with a hammer blow. Did you?
Right.
I don't think you gave me the damage of that hammer blow. Elena.
I did. I still have the dice
Or
here.
if you did, I didn't write it down.
A 6 and a 1 on my roll, which is a 7 plus 8.
Okay, 15. And wait, but what about your superiority point?
Yeah, that was it. I rolled low on
That
the
was with it,
superiority
okay.
point.
I've got him.
Knowledge.
So that guy's like kind of lying in a heap right now.
Yeah.
And then there are 5 who are just totally up and fine and able to do something.
Okay. I would like to attempt to web as many of those guys as I can.
Okay. And what's the size on the web spell?
I want to say it's a
Pulling it up
20-foot cube.
Yeah, I think you're correct. Yes, it is. So you can catch up to 4 of them.
All right, I will do that then, or at least attempt to.
And I think they just make saves.
Yep.
It is a dexterity saving throw. Just see what happens with these webs. So I shall roll them 2 at a time. Fail, fail. Fail, fail. That's a whole lot of fail. All 4 of them are caught in webs. What do you want to do with your bonus action?
Let's see. If I want Ollie to go bite someone, does that take up my bonus action, or is he kind of doing his own thing?
No, you can tell him what to do, and he'll do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell
he
him to
also
go
can
bite
breathe
whoever's
fire.
whoever isn't already restrained.
Do you want him to do an area attack, or do you want him to just bite
let's
somebody?
do an area attack. That sounds fun.
He's got the 15-foot cone of fire.
Yeah, into it.
That'll definitely hit up to 3 of them.
Cool.
And that is it's a deck save. There's no deck save for half damage. So go ahead and roll your 6d6 fire damage.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
11.
Okay, 1 of them made it. My first roll was a 4 and a 2. Those are definitely failed. It's only a
23.
DC 12, but 23 points of fire damage.
Yep.
Okay, they're dead.
Nice.
Good boy.
Two of them scream soundlessly as they burn to death with hellfire. A third one leaps aside and just gets some fire on him and takes half damage. Yeah, that's nasty. Roll a d6. On a 5 or a 6, Ollie can keep recharges and can do that again.
No, that is a 4.
Okay, so that's his one time for this particular encounter.
All right.
And next up is Morgan. So Morgan, current situation is as follows. Copernicus said some horrifying words that hurt to hear, and a black pit of tentacles erupts out of the ground.
Probably something about this year's taxes. I don't know.
It was a
Yeah.
horrifying catchphrase.
Two of them, it was two of the guards have leapt aside, but two of them have been grabbed by these tentacles and are taking a lot of damage because they're spiky tentacles. Ugna golfed one of these soldiers towards the group and thrown a net over another one who is now tangled in it, and then has grabbed another guy and is behind the tentacles with this guy in an arm lock. The remaining people in the silent sphere have just had fire breathed on them by the Hellhound, and two of them are like full on dead. And then 4 more have been captured in a swarm of webs that have come out of Fedid's like swarm of bugs around him. It's quite gross. And they are now like thrashing in Frodo style in Two Towers. Shout out Peter Jackson.
I
Who's not
need
dead, I don't know why,
more area of effect things. My only ones are larger or higher cost. So I'm gonna try a Chaos Bolt, trying to take one out.
Sounds legit.
So hang on a second. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Is that how many people would be in a storm sphere? Because I'll do it if that's that many.
You can get quite a few of them in the storm sphere, but it would probably, I guess you can avoid, the only person you'd have to avoid is Ugna. The main issue of the storm sphere is the noise.
Yeah. I don't have anything that's really quiet.
Because the lightning bolts of a storm sphere actually make lightning noises. It is a 20-foot radius sphere, so it's bigger than the silence spell. So the storm winds would also be audible.
Yeah.
Your Chaos Bolt's probably a better bet. But I just wanted to point out that your choices of target are one of the 4 guys caught in the webs. One of the 2 guys are dead now, so they're irrelevant. So one of the 4 guys caught in the web, the guy who got golfed across the area and is lying in a heap, the guy who was on fire and just survived the breath weapon. One of the 2 guys who are grappled by the tentacles, or one of the 2 guys who evaded that, one of whom is caught in a net.
Yeah, I think Chaos Bolt is my best option for trying to hit more than one, because they're kind of far apart.
There are only a handful of people who aren't in some way restrained or grappled.
Yep.
So is it one of those that you want to shoot at?
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
Oh, nice. That's an 18. And I'm going to grab 2d8. Sorry, I've been distracted by Morgan's ass.
Haven't we all?
I mean, that's just a thing that happens.
That's a 2 and a 7. So cold or psychic. I like the idea of doing psychic. And D20 for chaos. I'll take an orange.
Sorry, what are you rolling for now?
Wild magic.
Oh yeah, just roll to see if you roll a 1.
No, it's a 13.
Okay, then you're good. No wild magic occurs unless you're asking for one.
And so that was 9 plus a d6.
think I just deleted a spam.
Another
We got a couple
one?
of them tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Wayroz is a spammer or not.
Oh,
but
nice. That's a
that looked like
5.
spam. If that wasn't spam, Wayroz, I
You look spam
apologize.
adjacent.
But I'm sure it was.
14. 14 damage. 14 psychic, I think.
14
altogether.
psychic
Is
damage.
it all typed, or is it just the d8s that are typed? Because it's a d6 plus. It's 2d8 plus d.
It's all of it that's typed.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Kaitu.
Voice.
Okay. Anything else you're doing there, or bonus actions, anything like that?
I think I'm just gonna take cover. I don't have multiple
good.
attack options, so I was hoping that would bounce.
All right. In that case, Tromlin, you're up.
Okay, so how many are free?
There are two people who are free that are badly injured. One who got shot by Morgan's Chaos Bolt, and one that got fried by Ollie's breath. And then there are two more who are free but are within the tentacles. Is that everybody? And then there's
Awesome.
one in the headlock, two that are held by the tentacles, four that are in the web. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Nope, and then there was two dead. So there's somebody else that was injured. So yeah, there's just the people in the tentacles who haven't been grabbed yet, and the two badly injured people. One that Ugna hit with a hammer, and one that got. Oh right, the hammer one. Sorry. So that means that whoever you hit there with that chaos bolt, you actually took out. Because they
Right,
were
'cause they've
already
been hit
injured.
already.
Whichever
Yeah.
one they were, the one was already injured. Everyone was either injured or held or dead.
I took them out with a Rickroll.
Nice.
You fire a chaos bolt at them, and it looks like sonic energy, and it hits them, and then it goes, "Never going to give you up," and they go, "Oh no!" and cuts his own throat, dies. Got me.
Also, thank you, Revenge, for another biddy.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Yay.
So do I want to cast Entangle or Sleep?
I believe you are maintaining your silence.
Yep, it's not concentration. It's 10 minutes automatically.
Is it? Perfect.
Hell yeah.
So you have the ability then to concentrate on whatever you like.
I will cast Sleep as a 3rd level spell. How about that?
Ooh.
Nice.
So that gives me 48 extra. So that's 98.
Yep. Go for it. There's no hit rolls here.
Trying to get them to sleep. 42?
Sorry, what'd you get?
42?
It keeps cutting off the first part of that.
42.
42. Holy crap. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was 22 or 30. I was like, something E2. Because the speaker kept cutting off the beginning of it. Well, who are you targeting first? Tentacle folks, web folks? The tentacle folks will continue to take damage after you hit them with that.
Well, that's tempting. I guess I mainly wanted to target whoever wasn't, like, being held in place who might run.
There's only two such people, both of whom are injured.
Well, I guess that's part of them.
Okay, so you're going to go for those two first?
Yes.
Can't remember if does sleep go with their current hit points or their total hit points?
Let me look. How about that?
Nope, current hit points.
Oh,
Makes quite a difference.
Well, that's crazy. Yeah, hit points of creature. That's crazy. So you beat somebody up and then cast sleep on them. That's the trick. Okay, in that case, that'll get those two, both of them. One of them is on fire, so he's probably going to wake up again, but he's going to take damage in the meantime. And then you got more. Who you want to go after next?
The webs.
Okay, that will put out. So those guys are uninjured, so that'll put one of them out, and the other it'll be only partial affected. So one of the people's in the web like hangs limply as he falls asleep, and both of the injured guy, the guy who was punted with the hammer, and the guy who was burned by Ollie, whose clothes are on fire, so he's going to fall down asleep and then take fire damage,
And wake up screaming, probably.
which will wake him up, but it means he loses a turn. Okay, now it's their turn. All of the ones in the tentacles have to roll again. So the two that were started in the tentacles have to save again. So go ahead and roll your damage again there, Peter. That is 2 7s. Is not going to do it. So they will each take your 3d6.
That's 11 damage on the roll this time.
Okay, and then the two who are grappled can attempt to break free, but they do take the damage, and neither of them breaks free. So that finishes off those two.
Beautiful.
And the other two are now at like 11 damage.
Yeah, and are restrained.
And are restrained. Okay, and now I'm going to do the fire damage for Ollie's You've Been Set on Fire. And see. So that'll wake him up. He's not dead, but he takes more damage. And he wakes up screaming in silence because he's still in a silence spell. And the remaining people are 3 conscious people in the web who can attempt to break out.
Ooh,
Fail,
Morbides, thank you, Revenge.
1 success. And then Ugna, please roll your grapple against the guy who's trying to break out of your headlock.
Little baby face Tromlin.
Actually, you know what? No, he's not trying to break out of the headlock. He's going to stab you.
Okay, yeah, it's acceptable.
Because he can just try to do that with disadvantage. And he succeeds. And you take, he maxed his damage. You take 9 damage.
Oh no. Oh no, 9 full damage.
With his short sword.
Owie.
Because he's like, you're headlocking a guy who's got a sword, stab. And you barely notice it. So he maybe was thinking it twice about that now. How many of them are left to go? 1, 2, 3 dead. All 4 in the thing are either in the tentacles are dead or have gone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all the web people. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 1 person left that I've forgotten. Oh, it's the guy who was on fire and woke up. He had to spend his turn getting burnt and waking up. So of the 3 conscious people in the webs, 1 snaps the webs that are holding and breaks free, and he is going to attempt to run. And he is moving. He gets his movement, and he's running out of the silence area, and he's going to try and escape so that he can scream for help. But before he can do the screaming part, I'm going to let everybody else go again. So Ugna.
Alrighty. Well,
I think theoretically, rules he can do it because his action is breaking free. His movement would be enough to get him out of the 20-foot area, and then screaming is free. But that doesn't work for me. As he's the bad guy.
Screaming is free. It's just one of those really dark sentences that comes up in D&D
I love it
fairly often.
Love it a lot.
Screaming is a free action.
Has to run past
Existential
me
dread is always a free action. Sorry, say again?
This guy has to run past me to get out of here, right?
Yeah.
I put myself in the way.
Let's say that's what's happening. You know what? I'm going to Shadowrun rule this and say that you can drop your initiative and use your reaction to intercept him before he escapes the sphere of silence.
Let's do that.
So you drop from your 16 initiative down to 11.
Yep.
Which means you'll go after Fetid now. But for right now, immediately you may take an attack of opportunity as a reaction.
That's what I'm doing. I would like to. I've already got the one guy grappled, but I do have 2
You
arms.
got 2 arms.
I could grapple
and
him
legs.
again.
Yep.
Yep.
Go for
I
it.
could also theoretically do a pushing attack to just punch him so hard he flies back into the cone of silence.
And just take his movement away from.
I
Knock him
like
back
that
into the
one.
tentacles.
Yeah, I'm actually okay. No, I'm a wrestler.
You
so what
got
I'm
one guy
doing
in an arm
is-
lock. Your free hand is your
Yeah.
hammer.
It is. I'm just gonna just golf him right back in.
Just golf him.
I'm going
Nope.
to clothesline him with my hammer and then throw him off the edge of the hammer into the cone of
Yep.
silence.
Go for it. Attack
All
roll.
right. Here we go. That is a 7 plus 10, 17.
That'll hit him.
All right. Then let's do. That gets a superiority point on it because it is a special attack. I'm only one-handed, so that's a D8. Five and 2 is 7, plus another 8. Is it get another?
Nice.
Yeah.
15 damage.
15
You get to
damage.
decide which way it goes. Do you want to put him in the tentacles, or do you just want to put him elsewhere?
Let's put him in the tentacles.
All right, he lands in the tentacles. Roll your 3d6 damage, and I'll roll his saving throw. Peter?
Okay.
I'm just playing
Oh,
golf.
never
with
mind.
guys.
He made his saving throw, so he
Aw.
doesn't take the damage immediately.
I rolled badly, so that's fine. This round it's okay if that's a wash.
He'll have to roll again on his next turn to get out of there before they grab him anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, you golf him directly into the tentacles. Nice, and that is all of them. None of them managed to raise any alarms.
Oh, yeah.
Now that's one round that has passed, and the patrol. So like the video game, you're the timing of this. The next patrol is only another round away from coming into sight around the building, right? So you want to move
It is
fast
time
here.
to murk these guys and drag their
Copernicus.
bodies away.
Copernicus, you're up first because Ugna has reduced their initiative.
Okay, so I think no, I'm not gonna drop a spell slot. I'm tempted to, but I think I'm just gonna try and do damage because that's all we're really doing here.
You got a lot of
Um,
injured targets if you want to Eldritch Blast somebody.
Yeah. I'll maintain concentration and I will drop I'll do a chill touch.
So the one, there's the one that was burned by Ollie, but now has gotten back up and is ready to bolt. He's free to act if you want to take him out.
Yeah, I'll do that. So rolling to hit with a +9. Ooh. 4 on the die for a 13.
To hit, that won't make
Okay.
it. Do you want
And
to?
then I'll do a distracting intrusion on the same guy, I think. Should have done first.
Okay.
Yep, so DC 15, or he's a very easy target.
He fails.
Love it. Love it. And that's my turn.
Okay. Fetid, you're up next.
All right. How many guys we still got standing at this point?
So there are 3 guys in your web. So there are 5 dead.
Mm-hmm.
3 guys in your web, one of whom is asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then 1, 2, 3. 3 now in the black tentacles. 2 of whom are grappled, 1 is not, but they're all like fighting off these tentacles.
Okay.
And they're all injured. So what is that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And 1 guy who is badly injured and burned, but is now up on his feet and able to do something.
Okay, I'm gonna mark that guy and try to shoot him with an arrow.
Go for it. Roll to hit.
That is a nat 20.
He's dead.
Oh yeah.
He is
Hell
extremely
yeah.
dead.
Yep.
If you rolled all 1s, I still think he would be dead. So
Mhm.
because you have a lot of dice to roll. So yeah, he puts out the fire. He dodges the chill touch spell, the magical hook of doom finger flies by him. He dodges it. He goes to run out of the circle and it right through the neck with an arrow. Thunk.
Yeah.
In dead silence.
Nice.
And you have another attack.
All right. I will attempt to arrow one of the dudes in my web.
You get advantage because he is restrained.
All right, that will hit. And do I get the full 4d6 for this?
You didn't need to use it on the first
Yeah,
one, so
that's
yeah.
what I was thinking.
You only use it once per turn, but like the other guy was dead meat without it.
18 damage.
He is. Oh, he hasn't taken anything. He's still up, but not looking happy. He's struggling harder against the webs, but now he has an arrow in him. And it's Ollie's turn. What would you like to do?
All
Have
right.
Ollie do?
He can't do the fire thing again, correct?
No, he can only
Okay.
do that if he recharges it.
I'm going to direct him to go bite the guy I just shot with an arrow in the web.
Sure. Get him, Ollie. Get him. Roll to attack. He has a +5 to hit.
That would be a 15.
That'll hit. His damage is 1d8 +3 plus 2d6 fire damage because his teeth are on fire.
That's a d8, yes.
Pretty sure that's just going to kill this guy. That's the guy you already shot, right? Yeah, he's done. Ollie runs up to the web, grabs that guy, grabs his arm, goes to bite that guy's arm, and just tears him completely in half. However, Ollie now needs to make a dex save to avoid getting tangled up in the web.
He fails.
Okay. So he's kind of caught up in the edge of the webs and he starts like scrabbling his paws.
This is very in character for him.
Doesn't he yips but silently because he's still in the silence thing. Okay, Ugna, you are up now because of your delayed initiative. You've got a guy still in a headlock.
Yep.
The tentacles are between you and everybody else.
Yep.
But you can reach guys at the edge of the tentacles, or you can try a ranged thing, or with your jump and movement, you can get over to the guys in the web.
Yeah. I like
There's
staying
now-
here though, because I don't want anyone running past me and going to alert the guards who I can hear coming up this
Yep.
way. Don't have my net. I don't want to do the thunder hammer, even though I can do an area effect, because it would blow them out of the silence area. I think I'm just gonna start dropping dudes from this this side.
Just try and hit two of them, stand at the edge of the tentacles and just like
Yeah.
bat two of them back.
Yeah.
Why don't you hold your action then until they make their saving throws and you can just be part of the...
Causing damage.
Nope,
Overall.
you made your saving throw and you can leave? No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
you
and
don't.
I'm just holding in case anyone else breaks free and tries to rush past me.
Sure. Morgan.
All right. Nobody's more clustered.
There are two people in the web, one of whom is asleep. There are 4 people in the tentacles. Three people in the tentacles. Is that all that's left now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You just killed 2 more. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Yep, that's it. 3 people in the tentacles, one of whom is in a net as well. And 2 of whom are currently not, or only one of whom made a saving throw. So only one of them is not currently grappled by the tentacles.
Okay. I'm gonna do.
I will point out that when the next group of soldiers comes into sight, even if you're done fighting, there may be bodies that is an issue.
Yeah, we may need to clean up.
I'm considering just running a distraction. And having the patrol be drawn away somewhere else.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Delay the patrol. That's a very good idea. What kind of distraction are you thinking? Like just a minor illusion?
No, just using disguise. and drawing them somewhere else. Because I could dimension door or whatever away if it goes sideways, but I could just have the patrol be drawn over. It'd just be some migrant sex worker trying to peddle her wares while you guys are dealing with this.
Okay,
And
so you want to
then-
head over there. They're still a fair ways away physically, but if you dimension door, you can go right over to where that patrol is. And then step out of an alley and go, "Hey, big boy," or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. I actually like leading with "Hey, big boy." So I think that's what I'll do. I will send Perny a text or mental text saying I'm just gonna go delay them while you deal with this. Then
We will clean up the mess as quickly as we can.
partially
Tromlin.
also because Morgan doesn't like to coup de grace people.
Fair.
Exactly what's gonna happen.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say I don't know if you can do both spells, but if you you actually could get close enough, I think, with your movement plus a Misty Step, so you can cast the disguise self. Because
Yeah.
like as
Well-
far as you know, they have your description is if you do this as your real self, they're gonna be like, hey, it's one of those people. But
Yeah,
if
well-
you cast the disguise self, then move, run full out in that direction as much of your normal movement as you can, and then bonus action Misty Step
I could jump
where
too.
you can jump out. Yeah.
As long
Yeah.
as the line of sight isn't ruined, I could jump. So I think I'll do a disguise self and
What's your disguise?
I think I'm gonna go with the strippergram.
Nice.
And I'm going to fumble my landing a little bit to knock over some trash cans in the alleyway to draw their attention, and just go, oh, God damn it! And that'll hopefully be enough to draw them in the direction away from the combat.
So what do you look like in general? Like strippergram, but like what's your like you don't have to be a satyr anymore. You
Yeah.
can change what you look like.
She's gonna be hot, thick redhead, a little trashy, wearing again an oversized coat with a big fluff collar.
Human or something else?
She'll be a human. And she's just so small. She's like 5'4", 5'5". Slutty dress underneath a large coat, oversized purse, freckles for days. Actually, she'll be half elf, so she'll have the half elf ears.
Pointy ears.
That sells really well.
Yep.
And makeup's just like a little bit fucked.
Hey.
Like it's been on too long. She needs to like wash her face in real pie, but you know things have been hard.
I bet you they have.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
why don't you
she'll-
roll me a persuasion or deception, your choice,
Okay.
to garner some attention.
All right.
So you leap with your jumping ring,
Yeah.
and like just dash hard in that general direction.
Yeah.
Get a full movement plus extra distance from the leaping, while you cast this disguise spell on yourself and turn into this redhead, and then Misty Step the last distance away into the alley next to the other patrol, knocking some stuff over and being like, "Oh, don't mind me."
Yeah. I will
Go.
deception. Or I'll performance like knocking over a trash can and then falling over. And her like getting up and she's like, "Oh fuck! Oh my god!"
Getting up with your back to them specifically.
Oh yeah, obviously. Struggling with her little heels.
Yep.
That's a 7 and a 17.
What are you rolling?
I'm gonna be rolling persuasion.
Oh,
Sorry. Did you say?
I was just confused. What you rolled 2 dice or you rolled 1 die?
Oh, I thought I was rolling at advantage.
No,
Okay, I'll
regular
reroll.
Yep.
That's better. That's a 19.
Okay. That beats my, what did that be with wisdom? 12. So yeah, you appear over there and they all immediately sort of like pause in their march to like look over at you, and like a couple of them take like an immediate step forward, like, oh, an opportunity to like
She's not gonna
either
get up yet.
arrest someone.
She'll pull like
or help
a
someone.
slightly defeated like, oh, and she like put stuff back in her purse. Like just a couple of sex toys have fallen out. You know, she's dusting them off. Like, oh my god. Oh, do you think you could help me up? I think I hurt my ankle.
You're like pulling the whole short skirt is now like way above the butt,
Oh yeah,
sitting on the
obviously.
ground in your underwear situation. All right. That was Morgan. Tromlin.
Okay.
So you see what
So
Morgan just did and has gone over there to distract the other guards. You currently have remaining now only the 3 dudes in the tentacle field. The one being grappled by Ugna, and 2 in the net or in the web, one of whom is asleep.
Okay. The other one is not asleep though, and he's still alive. It can cause problems.
Yeah,
Correct.
but he is struggling to escape the web. What do you want to do?
I want to kill him.
Go for it. You already saw one guy. This is maybe a great time to tell you about your new abilities.
Yes.
Ooh.
Please do.
So I mentioned that you have proficiency with the Poisoner's Kit. And the reason for that is that you now have a small part of the abilities of the Rogue Assassin archetype. The other thing that you have from the Assassin archetype is that you have advantage on attack rolls against a creature that hasn't taken its turn in combat yet. And if that creature is surprised, any hit you score is a critical.
Whoa.
So if I
Nice.
behind him,
So if you Misty Step behind somebody, you can auto critical with an advantage roll.
God.
Roll.
all right. Guess what I'm gonna do?
Tromlin just got very deadly.
I step behind the living guy in the net, or this wake
Yep.
guy in net. I'm going to attempt to put my dagger in him.
Yeah. So make
And
your
you
hit
said-
roll advantage.
Okay, hold on. Let's see what we got here.
And as long as you hit, it's automatically a critical strike.
So one is an 18, and the other's a 24.
24 is a
So-
hit. Well, 18 is a hit too, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so you hit, it's automatically a critical, and don't forget that you have sneak attack. So you're rolling 3d6.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think your sneak attack is 2d6. Yes. So you're rolling 3d6 plus 3 damage and then doubling it.
All right, let's see what we get. 32 points.
After doubling, I assume.
That's after doubling, yeah.
Yep. So excellent. He's dead. They don't have that many hit points. So you, you poof, you bamf, Nightcrawler style with your Misty Step, and step out of the mist behind him and shank him, and he is.
I
dead.
look to one of the other awake ones who are awake and struggling, and I mouth, "You're next."
I'm not 100% sure they'll notice because they're all fighting Everard's black tentacles, but
That's fair.
spirit is there. And the
I
other
do
guys
love that, like,
oh, you know what?
screaming-
There's the
Right.
one Ugna's got in an arm lock. Or in a
Yeah.
Okay.
headlock. You can catch his eye and do it.
You're next.
I'm loving
Screaming is a
this.
free action, but so is traumatizing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's like post
Tromlin-tizing.
Tromlin. Yes.
Oh my god.
There's
I
the
need-
episode title.
Deck saves from some Everard's black tentacles. Can you please roll your damage? I have 3 fails.
Yeah. All right, we can kill. Oh, well, then they're definitely gonna be dead by their next turn because they're gonna take damage both turns. 12 damage.
12 damage takes out that one and leaves those two very, 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 very injured and barely alive.
Dang.
And they're all held or restrained.
Yeah.
They are
then-
shouting and screaming their heads off, but it makes no noise. That guy's asleep. And the only other one who isn't dead is the one grappled by Ugna. He is going to try and break out of your grasp.
Good luck, buddy.
Hey, I rolled a 15 plus
Ooh,
his bonus.
well,
He's
I'm gonna
got athletics
roll-
proficiency, so that's like a +5. That gives him a 20, dirty 20.
woo.
What'd you get?
I got a 12
You have a
plus
plus 11.
12 plus 11.
That's a 23.
23.
It beats my dirty 20.
Yeah.
He goes, I rolled really good. It
And I'm
doesn't
like,
matter at all.
I do this for a living.
As he tries to break free so he can run and fails. Because his stabbing you didn't work last time, so he didn't bother to do that again. I will point out, Alina, that you were holding your action. So
I was.
those guys who you were waiting to see if they broke out,
Yeah.
they didn't.
They
But you
didn't.
can hit him anyway.
That's true. I've also got this guy who's now tried to break out. Can I just introduce him to my fist?
Yep.
Or better yet, to my hammer, because it's in this hand.
Yep.
Conk. On the top of the head.
You could also just throw him in the tentacles.
I could.
You could hit him into the tentacles like you did the other guy.
Why don't I? And then even if he
Go
isn't
for it.
dead, he's stuck in some tentacles. How about that's a 19 on the roll.
Tell you what, take both your actions,
Yeah.
and I will let you throw him in the air and golf him into one of
That
the
was
other guys in
baseball.
the tentacles. Because the other guys in the tentacles have 2 hit points.
Cool.
So roll your damage.
Okay.
His projectile body takes out one of the other guys in there.
6 and 8. 14.
14 damage, and then roll me the Evered Black Tentacles, because now he's being introduced to them. So roll the damage, please. Peter?
Okay.
It's too bad I don't have improved critical on this one. Right there.
Almost max damage. 16.
He's done. That worked well.
Yeah.
Um,
And then we haul the bodies off into
Yep.
an alley as quickly as we can. Prestidigitate away any
celebrates.
blood.
well, hang on. So it's the end of the round. That's their turn, except, well, that guy's asleep. So, beginning of a new round, the soldiers would come around the building and have a distant vision of this, but they are being distracted by Morgan. Where you all are, there's still 2 guys in the Everage Black Tentacles, one of whom is almost dead and one of whom is not far behind, both of whom are restrained. And then there's one guy sleeping soundly in the webs. And that's it. There's nobody else. Everybody else is dead.
So I think we got a coup de grace, the guy who is sleeping. The other 2 are going to auto take damage next round because they both failed their most recent saves, correct?
Yep.
So I think that they're going to die before they can act.
They get to roll. They get to save this round. They get to save on their turn to avoid the damage, but they don't automatically take it.
Oh, sorry. Did they fail their last save last turn?
Yes.
Then they auto take the
damage.
damage. They auto take the damage this turn.
No, they take it that turn when they fail to save.
Hold on.
It's a saving throw. So, any creature that
If they
starts its turn.
Having
Oh,
already,
I see what you're saying. Oh,
yeah.
so they
If
get
they
the-
start
they
their
only
turn
get
with a
the
failed
dex
save, and yeah, there's no way to
Sorry,
not take the damage.
I'd been
if they've
rolling
already
the
failed.
dex save each round. They don't get a dex save the next time. I just been rolling the dex save every
Yeah,
round.
the next time they get to try and break out of restrained, basically.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
doing that. I was doing that wrong. I was kind of combining. I was combining the saving throw with the breaking free. Not that it matters because nobody made it. But the main question is, what are you doing with all these bodies?
I think we're just dragging them into a side alley for now, and I don't know, Tromlin, if you can tell your kids, I don't know how quickly they eat and if they're full from their last meal, but
I mean, it was a hero
Are
point
there-
spent in order to make that contact. But
Yeah. Are there any
Okay.
like rooftops that we can stash them on? Because I could just run them up there. Run up
It's
to
mainly
the
about
dudes.
time.
Yeah.
I want to know like how many rounds you're going to take to do this.
Yeah.
Copernicus, I assume you're
How
gonna
many
keep
got-
your tentacles up to finish off those last two guys.
Yeah.
There's still a guy in the webs.
How many guys do I
Sleeping.
have to suck off for you guys to get rid of these bodies?
Being
Huh?
one straight. I think, like, surely there's just a side alley we can pull things into, right?
Yeah, but like Copernicus, for example, could drag one person, one body,
How's Ollie?
and that
Oh,
would
we could
definitely take your entire
put
action.
one dude on Ollie?
So we're still in combat time, and it's Copernicus's turn. So I want to know what he does first.
I can concentrate on 2 spells at once, correct? Yeah, multitask.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna summon an undead to be a body.
Summon
What's the word?
undead to start
Slugger.
hauling.
Yeah,
so I assume
and
you're going for one of
and-
the strong ones.
yeah, and if you'll allow me to bend the spell a little bit, but I think fairly, can I animate one of the corpses that's already here so I get a twofer where I'm cleaning up one corpse by using it to clean up another corpse?
I'm gonna say yes.
That's fine.
Thank you,
There's a
DM.
dead body right here.
I wonder what the summon undead material component is. Is it like a body?
I think it is.
No, it's a gilded skull.
Oh, that's weird.
Dumb. Yeah, sure.
Thank you. So I will. I will haul. I will start hauling bodies, and I'm going to keep my tentacles up, and I'm leaving those guys alone. Tromlin seems like he's the one to do the coup de grace, but I think we'll all.
He's also right there.
Yeah. So I'm hauling bodies with my skeleton, with my zombie crew.
You summon a zombie thing by animating one of these dead guys.
Yeah.
Who gets up and grabs one of his friends, and you grab another and start hauling them towards the alleyway.
How many guys can I lift? They're
Next
just
up is Fetid.
normal human size. Yeah, go Fetid.
There's still a guy in your webs, hanging there asleep.
Well, if he's
And there's
asleep,
two
he's not
guys
a
in these
problem.
tentacles getting beat up.
Yeah, I'll
there's
finish
lots of
off the
bodies.
tentacle boys, or at least try to.
I'm just gonna don't even roll. I'm gonna give it to you.
Alright.
They're both restrained, so you have advantage on the rolls. So like
Okay.
you pick them both off with a pair of arrows, and then can move. But also, if you want Ollie to grab something in his jaws and drag them, he can do that. Oh no, sorry, he's in your webs. Oh, but you can dismiss the webs. There's only one guy in it, and he's asleep. Yeah. And direct Ollie to grab one of the dead guys who was hanging in the web to drag to the alley. Next up would be Ugna.
How many dudes can I carry at one time?
Several, but one of the issues is that most of them are in the tentacles.
Yeah.
Now that said, the last people in the tentacles just died, so if Copernicus wants to drop it, he can do
I'll
that
just
at will.
wait until they drop.
In which case, because like how many died in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 6 died in the tentacles. So
One of which has my net.
yeah, one of them is tangled in your net.
Cool.
So you just
I
want to
want
like
that back.
grab.
Yeah,
You
I'm
could
just gonna-
grab 6 guys,
I'm just
6
gonna
dudes.
stack them up like cordwood and just like
Make me a strength athletics check. How many
can do
guys can you
this.
grab?
I can do this. I count as a large size individual. I only rolled a 7, but with my plus 11 athletics, that's an 18.
18. Yeah, you get all 6 of them. You like grab them all up and bolt, head down and run. So
Yeah.
that's now 1, 2, 3. That's now 9 of them.
Ugna has also
you
done
have
all of this
cleared.
in like military precision silence, where it's just like hup, jup, hup, 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 grab,
Go.
run off.
Morgan, it's your turn.
Mhm. I guess I continue to hard sell these guys. Pun
Okay.
intended.
So now it's
I
a full-on
guess
performance check.
Yeah.
As you attempt.
I believe I'm hard selling them a strip night, basically. and something more if they have more to pay. Essentially.
Well, your big issue here is that several of them are like being business, like the leader of the group is sort of like going, leave her. Get over
He's
here.
gotta be my target then.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I will hard sell this guy. I do.
Okay, do you want
Could I do have some kind of soft skills, including empathetic.
Yep.
Insight versus deception to gain motives. No, that doesn't really work. Yeah, I think I just
go
have to
ahead and roll me the insight.
Okay.
Just because it makes it easier for you to turn on the charm on that one guy if you have some insights into his needs and wants. You know this isn't gonna like they're not gonna all go, let's just drop our assigned duties and drop our pants so we can get a blowy in the alley. They're gonna it's just a question of how long can you keep them distracted.
26.
That is much better than him. So he gets tongue-tied as you like say all the right things. Now give me the performance check, and we'll just determine how thoroughly you have their attention.
That is only a 3. Did we roll into another inspiration?
No.
Damn it. Okay.
Ooh.
Although I notice there's a
because we did get another 50.
Yeah, there was another 50 there. I mean, I don't know if you saw it from MLS Revenge. I don't know if that 50 would put us over.
Where's? I want to also get out my nicer dice.
Where does that put us, Alina?
It looks like math is happening.
That puts us at 75%? Or is that not accurate?
I mean, 3 on the dice is still a plus 8 or 9 for me.
Plus 7 for performance, I think. Or no, I think you might be right. 8. 8, yeah. So that's a 12. Or no, 11. So
not awful. But,
it's not nothing, but it ain't gonna distract them for long.
Yeah. Let's see.
That said, that leaves Tromlin to go. I'm assuming you're gonna coup de grace the sleeping guy. Oh, MLS Revenge was like, no, I'm gonna push you over with another boost.
Thank
Yay!
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Morgan
Thank
can
you.
Do it.
Reroll. Go for it.
I got the beautiful glass one out for this.
Yep. What did you do?
16. 16 plus 9, so that's 25.
Okay, in that case, you're gonna get a whole nother round.
Oh no, 24.
So Tromlin can coup de grace the sleeping guy and then immediately grab his ankles and drag him towards the alley. And then the rest of you get another round to grab the stragglers. Because I think at that point, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the 12 will be dragged. So you'll have time to go back and get the rest and then do something to try and cover up the bodies. Maybe Tromlin throws a minor illusion over the alley entrance, so it doesn't look like there's a bunch of stacked dead people in it.
This is my work in progress for Morgan.
Morgan's twerk emoji or animation.
Yeah.
Gaining that extra round means that you all can, once you've sort of hidden everything in the alleyway and pushed something in the way, you actually, rather than doing an illusion, you can book it to get into the building.
Okay. Nice.
And hide inside the building while there's no patrol on that side.
And I just want to narrate that, like, while all the bodies are, while the bodies are being stacked, the last one is the animated corpse, like, running and jumping and whoop, onto the pile at the top, and then disanimating.
That's amazing.
Nice.
And yeah, let's book it in. Let's do it.
So Morgan you're able, after a few moments, they, the leaders of the patrol basically are like, will you leave that hooker alone? And like whichever ones you were like sort of trading numbers with, give you a little wave and
They'll say
run to
later
catch up.
here tonight.
Yes, I'm patrolling. And once they're out of your way, you can go on and misty step your way into the building as well, or dimension door. When you all get inside, you can move out of the main hall so that you can't be seen through the broken doors. But there's all the extra hallways that extend down from the hall on either side with all the individual cells. And within a few minutes of getting in there, you will hear the screech of a tawny owl as a dun-colored owl flits down through the open holes in the thatched roof left behind by the ransacking of the place as they searched very thoroughly. You'll notice also Copernicus and Tromlin down at the end where the storage room was that had the secret passage you discovered before. That room has been pulled apart. All the stores have been pulled out. And you can tell that the secret door was discovered and the trap door ripped off.
Okay.
Meaning there are likely patrols in the tunnels underneath as well.
Okay.
And you quickly sigh of relief that you didn't choose to come in that way.
Yeah.
The tawny owl is holding a little scroll case.
And we'll approach it and see if I can obtain it and open it.
It does its owl stare at you, which looks like very impressive, but has like no brain cells behind it, and goes, "Woo!"
Me.
And then just drops the scroll case.
Take it. Okay. I'll crack that open and give it a read.
Okay, you crack it open. You can see with your magic eyesight that it is magically sealed. And when you go to crack it open, it actually opens. And you realize there was probably some kind of a spell on there to destroy the thing and possibly people around it if the wrong person had opened it. But you opened it, and you are the one person that Dangalf had designated.
That's what when the owl asked me who, I said me.
Yep. And inside, there is a series of ritual symbols, which you recognize as being necessary to attune your teleportation circle to another specific teleportation circle.
Hell
you
yeah!
now have the teleportation circle.
Fast travel location, baby.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
And the owl flies away through the roof, and as he does so, you hear a distant shout of "What the hell's with the owl?" Coming from the soldiers outside, and then the tromp of booted feet.
Okay, well then I get the, I want to try and make sure that we teleport out as they're running in after us, so that just when they're reaching out and jumping at us, they pass through where we were.
Yes.
Very dramatically and cinematically. That's what I'm going for. So Purdy will slow down his ritual to get the timing on this right, if he can make that happen.
All right, so you unfold, throw down the teleportation circle.
Yeah.
And go to the others. Come on, everyone. One at a time now.
Keep your arms and legs inside the teleportation circle at all times. If you experience turbulence, first check to see if there are any obstructions near the doors, and then this is what you get if you want the extra leg room, okay? All right. Yeah, and I'll go ahead and do I make an Arcana check here, or is this pretty standard?
Go ahead and make an Arcana check. It's your first time using this thing.
Okay. Again, a high roll does not mean faster. High roll just means more dramatic for me. That's my goal here.
Amazing.
Hey, that's a 26.
Excellent. You usher everyone through, deliberately letting Tromlin go through last. So it's like you and Tromlin, and the guards come rushing in, and it's like, it's him, it's them, and they all other guards have come up from the tunnels underneath and are running down the other side of the hallway, and they're coming from both sides. And the teleportation circle vanishes, and the last thing you see is outstretched hands, and then just the last thing as the teleportation circle ends is you hear the thudding of the guards in each direction, like comically
Beautiful.
slamming into each other as the
Beautiful.
teleportation disappears in between.
Love
And
it.
even if it's not a necessary part of the spell, I would like there to be like a whoosh and like any like abandoned debris goes in like a little eddy tornado up in the air for extra drama, if you please.
So yeah, one at a time, starting with like Fetid and Olymandias, and then Ugna and Morgan, and then Tromlin, and finally Copernicus. You find yourself in a standing on an ornate dais, surrounded by glowing braziers, in a huge room, just festooned with like ancient woodwork and carvings and bookshelves, and standing nearby at a lectern with a huge tome on it, kind of mustily studying away, is a pair of figures. Both look surprised, although one of them is Dangalf. And Dangalf like does a huge like whoa, pinwheels his arms and falls over backwards over a stack of scroll cases, which go flying in all directions, and his like bony stick legs stick up because his robes fall back. And you can see he's just got polka dot underwear underneath his robes.
Perfect.
The other person is a very short woman, who appears to be some sort of halfling, or particularly short, plump dwarf. She is standing on a tall step stool so she can reach the book on the lectern, and she's the one who was directly managing the pages. And she, with the lectern, kind of does like a spin, like the stool falls out from under her, and she's like hanging on to the lectern, which is fixed to the floor, and kicking her little legs. And she's wearing golden colored robes, and a tall, pointed, conical hat, covered with gold astrological symbols, which is now bent halfway up and folded off to the side, all gnome-like. And she has huge rosy cheeks and a huge rosy red nose, with little tiny round glasses perched on them. And she goes, "Whoa! Oh my goodness!"
Do I know if Aurelia the Gold is the halfling?
You in fact recognize her as Aurelia the Gold, member of the
Very
Ordo
nice.
Arcanum, one of the 7, higher ranking than Dangalf the Dun, who is not one of the great 7.
And are we in the Wizard's Vale? Because I know that we've been to Dangalf's Tower at some point, right?
This is not Dangalf's Tower. I mean, you've been in Dangalf's Tower. You haven't been to all parts of it.
Okay.
But
They
he
probably don't look like
specifically
this.
said in the sending, the one thing you caught in his bumbling failed sendings was something about a teleport circle at the Wizard's Vale.
Okay.
Being available.
Cool.
So you would assume that you are currently standing within the tower. And Alina, this is a good time to pop up the map.
Do this.
And by the way, I am 100% picturing for Aurelia the Gold a halfling version of Miriam Margolyes as
yes.
Professor Sprout.
Oh my god, yes.
Or just Miriam Margolyes, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Oh, not that
qualifiers
map.
needed.
The closer up map of the Northlands.
I mean, this one I was gonna do because you can see where we were.
Yeah, you
and where
can't
we
see the
teleported
tower's
to.
name on it though. I mean,
You
that's
can?
good. So you can now see. You can
The
show
Wizard's
that.
Vale.
There's Ravenfall. There's the Wizard's Vale. But if you want to switch maps, we can actually show the swamp and the tower.
Yep. Here is the Wizard's Vale.
Oh, I didn't have the
Mire.
tower name on there.
Yeah.
Well, I won't bother searching for it because it's in my notes somewhere. But that tower has a well-known, famous name because it is the Tower of Magic in the Wizard's Vale, one of the great towers of the North. And yeah, that means you're like within spitting distance of Mud Hollow.
We're almost home.
Yep. And so Dangalf sort of like struggles to pick himself up as Aurelia hangs there kicking her feet and going, help.
I'll help her down and I'll say, I apologize for appearing suddenly. I was doing the one where you let them think that they're gonna catch you, and at the last minute you teleport and they jump through you and they conk their heads together. Classic. I couldn't help myself. I'm Copernicus Sunshine. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I assume you are of the famed Arena the Gold.
Well, yes, I am, dearie. I'm very pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you as well. And Dangalf, always a pleasure. And now we don't have to count the number of words we use every time we talk.
You help Dangalf up, and he immediately goes, I am Dangalf, and Dangalf
is
me.
you! Wow. Still, after all this time.
He like adjusts his hat, and he's like, oh, yes, goodness, you got my message. Good. Yes, there are great, important portents to be discussed. I have a quest for you. And there is a dark wizard, and the name of Graculus. He is a very great danger.
Yeah, we know
I
about
must
him.
tell you all about him.
We have been on his trail for a minute, let me tell you.
And I'll remind you at this point that you have been wanting to get your hands or get access to an occult library for some time.
Yeah.
And having the opportunity to potentially take a few minutes here to look up a few things would be very high on your priority list.
Yeah, let me just double check my leads here. Oh yeah, I also want to get my infernal disease checked on.
Oh yeah.
Review crystal vials. I don't remember what that means.
That was you did that. That was the potions you guys found.
Okay.
That was making. You've done that now.
We got some. We know.
Oh yeah, I want to learn something more about the dark ice because that rang a bell. The lady of the dark ice. I need to check my Mudhole Library in Wizard's Vale for info on the hill. Trying to figure out what's going on with the Grey Tower Darkling contract. I'm still curious about, but I think that's probably less interesting now.
You may suddenly have a certain interest in some fairy contracts.
Yeah.
Oh right, I was gonna research Heligrim, and is he related to Prince Heligrim?
Oh, sorry, the Heligrim is a different.
Heligrim. Yeah,
that's just so grim.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna research the Heligrim. Yeah, those were the things that I had high up on my list in my notes.
Helikin is more like Helikin.
Heli. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna update that.
Whereas a Heligrim is like the Hellegrim.
Okay. So grim.
Similar phonemes from different languages. Okay, so Dangalf looks immediately deflated because you already know about Graculus.
Sorry, bud.
And he says, "Well, there's very still important things to be determined."
Very important. I'm sure. I'm sure they're so important, and I'm sure you know lots of things that we don't. So let's do a little tradesies here.
Well, the portents say that there's great danger, and I mean, some of the other wizards think that you should go and see the dwarves.
Yeah, that was already on our to-do list
everything.
Too.
Yeah, we actually already sent word to Hollis about some of the.
Do you know about the necromancer or the necrogog? Who's in
I'm sure the wizards of the Ordo Arcanum have that all very well researched, and we know a lot about it.
You know about the threats from north, south, east, and west? Because we know a lot about that too.
He looks over at Aurelia. who is just sort of like pleasantly humming as she thumbs back through the book again. You now note, Copernicus, now that you're nearby, that it's like a book of recipes.
Okay. Interesting. Tromlin. Oh, wait, a book of like magical recipes, like
No, like
Tromlin recipes.
like specifically like a giant tome of baking recipes.
Yeah. I'll just like sort of like make a little nod to Tromlin and point at the book and get his attention on it. But I'll let him lead that process. Yeah. Well, I'll share everything that we know about Braculus and our encounters. The last time that we were near him, we actually sicked Kalugnir on him via an art attack. And sort of, I catch them up on that. But I'll ask specifically like what kind of portents they've received and what they think the deal is. And also, I want to give some room for Tromlin to maybe help out with whatever the baking research here is.
Well, the baking research is more just like she's looking up like cookie recipes, so she can bake something. But Dangalf will sort of bustle you off to a room with an enormous pool of water in a big giant stone basin that takes up a large central part of the room. And there's 3 wizards standing around it, who you don't particularly notice anything special about it. You're guessing they're not like high-ranking members. They're all wearing, 2 of them are wearing kind of generally gold-colored outfits, and you imagine that they're probably apprentices of Aurelia. The third one has like a novice's robe, like a kind of like a wizard's robe, but it's like generic brown. Like you imagine this guy's like a bottom of the pile. And you suddenly realize Dangalf the Dun, his color scheme ain't too far off of the gold. And you wonder if there's like a hierarchy there.
Okay.
He certainly seems deferential to Aurelia.
Okay.
The golden. And Dangalf says, these apprentices or these acolytes have been performing auguries, and there is a great danger. You said something about the points of the compass. This is in line with what the auguries indicate. Something terrible has been happening in the north, but the
Yeah, like a
sources
lot of
of
terrible
that,
things.
but the sources of power come from both east and west, and we know of the war in the south, and we continue to hear dire tidings from the elves.
Well,
It's likely all of this is connected.
a friend of ours who
Did I mention that I am Dangalf, and Dangalf means me?
you did. We did get through that part, but if you need to again, I get it. You're a little bit of a Pokemon. You need to say your name every few sentences. Won't judge you. So our friend who's gifted with oracular sight was given a vision, a portent of her own, which I will share. She had a dream about a giant tower in the sea with storms all around it. The storm in the east was getting very bad, worse than all the others, with lots of thunder and the sky getting black. And then she saw a huge hand reaching out of the clouds, like a big claw made of bones.
This is the
And it was
west, not the east. Sorry.
Oh.
You might have that wrong.
Okay.
Or I may have said it wrong at the time, but that's supposed to be the west.
Okay. I have updated that in
Because
my
you had
notes.
already guessed that that had to do with the Necrogog.
Okay.
Because in a subsequent vision, the clawed hand was like puppeting over Dwimmerdell, which is very much in the west, not the east.
I had an eastern city as written down as well, not western. So I'm gonna
Yeah, so it was a western city. So that was just
Okay.
that may have been me just brain farting the directions
The
wrong.
eastern city is all,
No
all
worries.
deserty, as I recall.
Let me just make sure I got that right. It's never eat shredded wheat. Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
west.
Then she's
Necrogog.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But Necrogog is west. It doesn't work.
Necrogog eats
Necrogog.
skin. Wow.
Wow.
Then she saw the Black Mountains out in that direction, where there were many dead bodies walking around and massing together in an army, and marching south. And there was a peninsula of land with a war going on. And it all seemed to be very important, and the Dark City seemed to be connected to the war. Yeah. So she also had heard the words "look" from Baradvar and Yenvar, the great elven tower from the Sea of Evermere. And there was a black storm with lightning to the north, dust storms to the east, and earthquakes and red skies to the south, gray skies to the west.
Mm. At this point, Dangalf was like stroking his beard, like he's like deep in thought. But you kind of notice that he's almost like dozed off, and he kind of like starts. But as he does so,
The end of the world prophecy. I was saying about the end of the world
Golden,
and the prophecy.
Aurelia the Golden has come in to the room behind, and she pipes up and says, "Yes, dearie, this is very in keeping with what we have learned. The war in the south is definitely being driven by these undead hordes. They would be plaguing more of the north if they were not spreading so widely. Whatever this necrogog you speak of is, it seems to be creating a right plague of undeath, marching armies north and south.
I mean, it's also messing up the forests. There was like fungus everywhere on the trees.
Yes.
It's probably how it spreads.
The wood elves have barricaded all of their strongholds in the Great Wood. Likewise, the siege of the elf home in the south. I do not think we would be able to count on the elves if this comes to a battle for the north. But then again, I do not think all of the Northlands would rally without a better understanding of the threat that they face. And that is what worries me about this wizard Graculus. We don't know what he's trying to do. We can only hope that Nightshade can keep these activities at bay and ensure that if the armies march northward, there is something to stop them.
You guys don't know the situation with Nightshade, huh?
Dangalf like looks over at her and looks back and is like, "What do you mean?"
She was by the Raven cult.
Yeah, probably by Bracculus himself.
And for some time, she had been.
Several other wizards had come into the room at this point because they're all sort of like listening, and every one of them looks shocked when you say this. There's no way Dangalf's gonna like, "Oh yeah, we knew that."
Yeah. For some time she had been under the coercive magical control of the Raven cults. We did just freshly come from destroying a ritual that was sort of the locus of much of their power over her, but they still have her physically imprisoned somewhere, not in the city. I suspect they may have even taken her to Aravik. She may be with Graculus now.
Yeah, and so the Frostworm they turned into a lady and then they shoved into a devourer. They might have done something similar to Nightshade.
That would be very bad indeed.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to the Frostworm?
Oh, she got turned into a lady and then shoved into a devourer.
Yeah, we'll do the full download of our adventures with the Frostworm.
You talk about
including we'll mention that we
have the power of the Frostworm in the north, but you make it clear that has been stopped.
Yeah, make clear that's been stopped. I will mention that we did seed some rumors about Nightshade being dead, but I'm assuming that if they have her, that they know that that's not true.
Tromlin, Randy.
Yeah.
I want to point out that you overheard your sibling saying that the Dark Wizard has her in a cage.
I will
bird.
bring this up.
Yeah.
Before my siblings were ushered away, they were bragging about how the Dark Wizard has her in a cage.
Then she must be in Arabic with, or nearby with Graculus.
It implies that she's still alive.
Yeah. And a devourer would be quite the cage. Not the only means of restraint, but certainly one that he's used before.
So in the interest of time, you divulge a bunch of this information to the wizards. And it becomes very quickly clear that Graculus was like seeking some pretty major sources of power that you have undone, right? Two big ones: the ritual around the Ravenfall Citadel,
Yeah.
which you've now undone by destroying all of the stones, and the Devourer siphoning power out of the great Frostworm of the North, which you now have freed. At this, Aurelia the Golden is going to say, "Very well. I think I know what must be done." And she stands over the pool and begins waving her arms, and the room goes dark. It's like that scene from The Hobbit where Gandalf goes all like vocal effects and the lights shut off.
Yeah.
Or in Fellowship of the Ring, I should say, but in The Hobbit hole. And her voice goes deep as she starts chanting a spell of augury, using this pool as a center point. And then she says, "Yes, the portents are clear, dearies. You must go to the dwarves. It is vital that you find the last of the come on, Lane's brain. This is not dramatic at all.
Kumvar?
No, the poem.
Oh, the element.
Elbereth.
The Elenath. The
Elena.
Elenath. Yeah, my brain was giving me Elbereth as well, which is Star Queen, not Elenath, which is All Star.
I, at this point, I think we're Tromlin and maybe Morgan could make a insight into Ugna.
I was going to call for that at the end, Elena.
Okay, cool.
Unless you're doing something specific right now.
I was just gonna at the mention of the dwarves, Ugna just like grabs her hammer, like, fighter. Looks very intense.
Okay, so
I'll roll
that doesn't require an insight check.
Though.
Just go ahead and describe what they notice.
I'll roll it into it later. Ugna just sort of like it has been really intense and focused this whole time. Usually when the wizards talk, she's like tunes out, wanders around, looks at the wall. She's all in on this one, and when the dwarves are mentioned, she like rubs her thumb over the dwarven runes carved into the base of her hammer.
Scowls.
Yeah.
Aurelia the Golden says, "You must go immediately. This research and discussion, Dangalf, will have to wait. The dwarves know, the auguries say that if you go to the dwarves and tell them of these dangers, you will find the last piece of the Elenath. I assume that you know the Elenath is an ancient poem.
I do.
A spell, some say, and I take it you have found pieces of it all before."
Hey now, I have.
The augury says only that you will find the last piece if you go to the dwarves. We have the teleportation circle and can send you as soon as you are rested. I think
about
it is
that. If a discreet gentleman had picked up some kind of infernal disease that needed discreet treatment, would such services be available at the Wizard's Vale?
Oh dear me, I suppose. She looks all like,
the ghouls, the infernal ghouls. We told you about them in our
the,
recounting of the adventures of freeing Columbia.
one of the acolytes in blue whispers, "This can't be done." And Aurelia says, "You will need what assistance we can give you. With such short notice, we will do what we can. But here, dearie, take this." And she hands you a wand. It's like just a crooked up. It looks like just a piece of root driftwood, just like some kid would have picked up as like, oh, what a neat stick. There's nothing ornate about it. There's no carvings. There's no jewelry. It's just a stick.
Cool.
And she hands it to you and says, use this in time of need. You may find it very useful.
I will.
What do you do with it?
I'm gonna like. I mean, this is a gift from a wizard, so I'll give like a full bow with thanks, and I appreciate the gift. I promise to study it and to use its powers. And there's a pause before I say responsibly. But I'm definitely going to be studying this while we do our. I assume we're going to do a long rest or something, so gets our spells back, and I will do a study on this.
And I just want to end here because we're a couple minutes over, so we can wrap up. You give it a little swish and a flick, just because that's what they said in Harry Potter, and a spray of like sparkles and butterflies and like a streak of rainbow are left behind. And when you
it's on the Morgan setting.
When you examine this later, you will find that it is in fact a wand of wild magic.
Ooh.
Oh, it is on the Morgan setting.
Really
It
is.
is very on the Morgan setting. And I can reveal that this was the magical gift chosen by the chat, which determined which of 5 of the wizards would be here waiting for you. And they voted for butterflies, which was Aurelia the Golden. So that is the magical gift that you have.
All right.
So nice.
One of
Thank you,
the near, and I'm gonna say I told the chat because people wanted this. I told the chat that I would take into account what came in second and third. So I will be doing that, and I will be revealing eventually which of the options are second and third. I will reveal now that the last place options were fire and steel. Butterflies won, and you'll find out eventually.
Oh, will we?
What came in second and third.
Opening the Ordo Arcana.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Incarnadine the Red, Court Wizard of Karsh, and I'm gonna guess Anathemus the Black.
That one was fire.
Or Azuria the Blue.
Anathemus the Black was steel.
Steel. Yeah. Okay. So I thought so. Those are the bottom 2. Okay.
Yep. Incarnadine the Red, Anathemus the Black were not selected.
So Asterion the White, Azuria the Blue, Verdun the Green, Amaranthia the Violet. Any other contenders?
Okay. And you guys will get in a rest and then be led to a teleportation circle that will take you to new adventures among the dwarves of Rockholm. Or Rockhold.
Will there be a special guest, perhaps?
My map changed. Yeah, I was about to announce that. You want to change my map back to the regular one?
Yep.
Just the regular scale world map, so I can remember my locations. This campaign's been going on long enough that I lose track.
We're here at the Wizard's Vale. Rockspire is the Dwarven city.
Rockspire is what I was trying to remember the name of.
Up in the Iron Peak Mountains.
Yes, so the city of Rockspire is where we will convene, which will be the live game at Gen Con with special guest Hollis Rockabilly.
Hell yes.
Who will have lots of fun, I'm sure.
And I'm making good progress on my twerking.
Oh my goodness.
So good.
Love it.
I love that it's like moving like an entirely separate creature.
That is bouncy.
Yeah.
The best.
The tail really sells it though.
Yeah.
Morgan the Stallion can't. Megan's. I've lost track of which is the character, which is the real person.
It's okay. Her ass is bamboozling, so.
Yep. But it doesn't have that tail.
Her ass
okay.
Wild magic.
So thank you all for coming. I will roll for some artwork giveaway.
Yeah, let's do it.
Still D20?
Yep.
13.
That is MLIS.
Oh, hell
Let's
yeah!
do
Yay!
it, MLIS.
Way to go, MLIS. You are going to get some artworks.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for
And I'll
all the
do
bits today, too.
a piggy tail reveal because my horns cover them up.
Yeah, it's so cute.
Yay!
So good.
Look at the little guys.
Excellent.
Love them. It's not very Morgan energy.
shout
I love
out.
that.
Shout outs. Trash Heroes will be at Gen Con. Lots of the
Yeah.
folks you see will be selling stuff in the dealer's hall, and we will have our live show. There's still 2 advanced tickets available. I haven't found out yet whether we're allowed to like have extra people in the back. We might.
We'll try to.
Yeah,
Shove 'em in if we can.
I told them 40 because I had to give them a number for the room size, but I suspect that it's not super relevant. But it should be good times, and we're gonna. I think I mentioned before we're gonna try and record it so that we can post a recording after the event so folks can check it out later. Any other shout outs? Alina, I know you've got another show right before Gen Con.
Yep, I
Fun
have
times.
Empyrean Rising this Saturday or Sunday. It is our Cypher System actual play, in which my character is going to go having a very awkward brunch with their family. That should be fun. Check us out. I'll post the link in the chat. But it is this Sunday at 12 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. EST.
And I was thinking of San Diego, but
Yeah, sorry. Also have San Diego.
because you're going to be at
before
San
that.
Diego Comic-Con the
Okay,
week before Gen
Let me
Con.
do some booth numbers here. I don't remember what booth I'm at, but it's on my Blue Sky. I'm at San Diego at booth number 1229, and at Gen Con at booth 1237, which won't
Those are
confuse me
very
at all.
close. Yeah, very
Those are
close.
very similar numbers. That
Mhm.
portends something, and I'm scared of what. Anyone else got something to shout out?
Just my fundraiser.
Yeah.
I have a, as of yet, unrevealed animation that I did. I kind of remade because my old iPad got exploded. So I will be releasing some videos on my social media where I'm just whining about that and then showing off the animations I've made to replace those ones. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I put the link to my GoFundMe in the
Nice.
thing.
And you can catch the replay of the free RPG Day completely improvised live stream that I did with Raven on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and look up Story Engine Deck, it's our most recent live. She was brilliant. It was a really lovely cast. We had a really fun time. It was all from scratch, and I think you'd like it.
It's pretty fun.
We suplexed 2 vampire children in a trench coat to the moon. And this was a logical progression of story based on sensible decisions we made
perfect
moment
sense
to
to me.
moment.
Perfect sense to me.
Yeah. My character devolved into a early 2000s Tumblr core goth girl and so when the option of a serial killer becoming my character's love interest came up, I took it because that's what
Spent all of her experience points to rewrite
All
the
of-
story.
all the very painful, embarrassing nat ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff, you got anything to shout out?
Gotta go, y'all. I
Alright,
will
Read questionable
see
content.
you all at Gen Con.
See you
Yeah,
Yay.
so excited.
Read also something positive and Popeye. And tell your local newspaper they should carry Popeye.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty. Night, everyone.
All right.
Alright. See
Bye.
y'all.
Later, all. Set up a raid.